name is Mike Kelly. I'm the chair of the Bow River Basin Council. I'm going to ignore Tim. I'm going to try to do this in 5 minutes, but if I don't make it, I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to limit it down to seven items this morning, I think. Before I even start, I want to echo some of the discussion that was raised earlier around data. Data access is a huge issue, and it's costly to us, and it wastes a lot of resources, and it just, there's really no excuse for it. And so, not to pull rank, but it's all of you taxpayers who have already paid for the monitoring and data that's been collected. It just seems natural that it should actually be allowed, or we should actually be allowed to use it. So yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to do before I get started. The other thing is just to say that the volunteers that are involved in all of these organizations and the Bow River Basin Council, it's simply magnificent how much work and how high quality the people are and the work that they do on behalf of these organizations for free. So 7 things I want to cover. Bow River Basin Watershed Management Plan Phase 2, we just completed that. It's out, and we're going to have an implementation team that's working on it as we speak and this year. It covered wetlands, riparian, headwaters, and land use. The previous one, Phase 1, as you recall, some of you may recall, it's covered water quality, and the objectives that we put forward in the process of that report have been adopted by the Calgary Regional Partnership, which is the City of Calgary and 17 surrounding communities, also by the ESRD and their Phosphorus Management Plan, and by the South Saskatchewan Regional Plan. So it's a huge and very gratifying for those who did it. It wasn't me, so I don't take credit. Great job on their part, and we're hoping that we'll be able to see a similar success with this Phase 2. The next thing, number 2, web-based state-of-the-art watershed, technical upgrade and data. That's what we're working on now. Again, data, data, data. We're really trying to have something out here that is extremely valuable to the public and to decision makers, but we need access to the data to be able to do that. Third one, strategic watershed analysis. We did a SWOT analysis a couple of years ago. That's what led us to the priorities that I just described. Next up for us is going to be water quality, or quantity, I'm sorry, but we're going to go back and review that to make sure that we're still on track, and that's the highest priority for this coming year. We do have a project underway that we're basically collaborating with another group that is looking quite carefully into water quantity and what supply might look like over the future, given potential climate change alterations, or even the weather patterns that we've had over historic years. Number 3 is, no, that was number 3. Number 4 is the, I just heard about this morning, by the way, and I'm really glad that I just heard about it this morning, so thanks Mark for putting me on the spot. Because what I found was I had so much to talk about that I really had to narrow it to these 7, so back to where I am here. Number 4, I just wanted to go over, we do quarterly information forums, fora for those of you who study Latin when you were young, but these we just find that we're able to assemble such a variety of people with expertise and knowledge, and these fora are really well attended. We're getting like 60 to 120 people go to these forums. We do one every, so we do 4. We do one every year outside of Calgary. And we find that if you want municipalities to really be interested in what you're doing, hold some kind of an information forum like that in their communities, because they really turn out in spades, and they end up coming to our forums back in Calgary as well. We get some retained membership and participation that way. We also do one each year on watershed stewardship groups, so they can come in and tell us what's going on out there, and everyone can keep track of all that very important work that they do. We do 3 types of work. We do the work ourselves, where we fund it and we have our own volunteers, and we do that work within the confines of the Bow River Basin Council membership. We do others where we're partners with others, so there's co-funding and co-people involved in those kind of things. And then we actually are sometimes a part of somebody else's project that is a collaborative project that fit within our vision, mission, goals, and objectives kind of thing, and we participate in some of those as well, just to let you know that we do a lot of work that way, and I think we're kind of multiplying our very limited resources by featuring those things. Different types of projects, that is. So number 6, I just want to recognize some work that's been done by other board members. First of all, we recognized last year at our strategic planning meeting, we looked around the table and all we saw was gray hair and in some cases no hair. And so we thought youth really have not been nearly as involved in the Bow River Basin Council as they ought to be. And so we formed a youth committee, and Sarah Fulton, who is our representative from CAP, the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers, has been organizing this youth committee this year, and there's all kinds of plans in place. Many things are already underway, but I'm looking forward to reporting next year, or Mark may be reporting next year, on the successes of the youth committee. Second thing I want to recognize Shirley Pickering, who is here. She's a board member. She's the chair of our Watershed Stewardship Group Committee. We have a board committee that tries to ensure that we have good, close contact between the stewardship groups and the council itself. And she's developing, I think that committee is developing a web-based information database on all the different things that are going on among the various stewardship groups. Again, more information, more data. Great work for Shirley, who's, I think you're also, are you in the OMAD too? Yeah, so there's a connection there, and I think connections across councils really is important too. So this forum is really valuable, I think, to everyone, but there might be more that we can do during the course of the years between these summits. The other thing I want to recognize Lisa Fox, who's the board member for the RBC, who's here. She's going to be speaking tomorrow. She's the chair of the Legislation and Policy Committee. I think I'm getting the hook soon, but I'm almost done. Now to number 7, and I think a really important factor here in all of our successes is great staff. And we have great staff. We have 3 people who accomplish so much during the course of every year. It's really humbling, I think, to those of us who have put through a pretty hard-working career. These folks do great work, and I'm sure that's the case with the rest of you, but I just wanted to acknowledge our 3 staff members here. Thank you very much.